Hi, welcome to today's video. I'm so glad that you're here. You're somebody who wants to improve their life and is looking to change, and you're interested in seeing somebody else change, which is excellent. I'm going to start the timer. I've tried to keep these videos to 10 minutes or so we'll leave it there. And I'm here basically to share with you what I've been doing and how I'm changing and growing and the things I've learned over the last 40 years that are going to help me make this change successfully this time. And even the mistakes are going to be something that you can use. There's an old quote that says, "A smart man learns from his mistakes, and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others." So you get to be wise and learn from my mistakes. I've had lots. I admit to having a lot of mistakes, and every single one is a learning experience and something you learn. And Eleanor Roosevelt also said, she said something to the effect of, you learn from the mistakes of others because we don't live long enough to make all the mistakes ourselves. So you've lengthened your life. If we can learn from the mistakes of others, reading books, watching a vlog like this, any kind of learning we can get from the experience of others and use it to our advantage so we don't have to make the same mistakes, it's basically giving us a longer life. We've saved time. We've got our timer started. I've been trying to keep them at 10 minutes, and all we're doing today is I want to talk about habit stacking. I mentioned it briefly in a couple videos, and just too quickly. I didn't explain it at all, really. And so if you haven't heard that term, or if you want to hear more about it, or if you just want to know what I learned about habit stacking as I've been trying to do it over the years, that's what I'm going to talk about today, is habit stacking. And at the end, if there's some time, I'll tell you how I'm doing on my own project, on my own cards. Not too bad. If nothing else, it's going well. It's going well. So habit stacking, let's get right into it before we run out of time. Basically, wanting to start at the beginning is you take something you're doing already in the day. We look for triggers. All habit stacks start with a trigger or a catalyst or something you're doing already. It can be an activity, it can be a place, a sound, something you see, something you hear, something you're doing. So morning is an excellent time to start a habit stack because everybody needs to get out of their bed. Getting out of your bed can automatically trigger making the bed, can automatically trigger, in my case, there's only 4 things on my morning card, and it's a morning routine card that's explained in previous videos. And it's get out of bed. I look around for a quick 5 minutes, take 5 and look if I can tidy, a quick tidy. I weigh myself, I brush my teeth. That's it. Then after that, I go for my walk. So basically 5, because after that is done, I go for my walk. So that's the last thing. Those boom, 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 walk. And that's a habit stack. And the more often we do a habit stack, any kind of habit stack, the more our brain, the science of it is something to the effect of our brain puts myelin on top of the neuron pathway in some scientific way, and it gets easier and easier to do it each time, like exponentially easier. I think it's something to the effect of, if somebody begins, the first day you begin a habit to the last, like if you become a concert pianist, the habits of doing, let's say, the scales are up to 400 times easier. They're embedded. The actions all become one action. So instead of just having 5 different things, it becomes, I get up in the morning, boom, all that gets done automatically. All the actions you've already done habit stacking if you know how to drive or ride a bicycle. You don't have to think about each action as you go through it. They've all become one action of riding a bike or driving a car. It's all become one action. So you find the different spots of your day that there'll be a catalyst, any kind of trigger that can start it. So as I had the activity lists. There's a blank activity list. So look through those activities and see how you can maybe group them together in routines or sequences and create a little habit stack. There's the morning activity sheet that I had some morning suggestions of things that people do that say they makes their morning great. You can look through there and see what you like for your morning and customize it. Really, I'm hoping that all that I present is not just my own stuff. Here's my stuff, here's what I do, but also here are the tools that if you want to create your own customized system, the same, you know, using a similar pattern, but just, anyway, you get it. So going on with habit stacks, you find those triggers and you go on. Some of the other habit stacks that are useful and you do automatically would be when you put on your shoes. You put on your shoes, you automatically look for your, do I have my keys? Do I have my phone? Do I have my wallet? And do I have whatever I'm taking? Like, you kind of do that automatically anyway. Now, if you wanted to add something else, you can add things into something like that. Anything that you're doing automatically. Cleaning my washroom was something that used to kind of get messy. That and my car. I used habit stacking successfully for both of those. So every time in the day you go in and out of the washroom, and I would clean something and spray a little bit, have everything right there so that you're not walking away. It's a 1 minute thing. You don't want to be wandering around. So what I would do is I would just take the Windex, if I was doing windows, a mirror or the taps, just spray Windex, clean it up with a smart magic cloth, or if you use paper towel, make sure it's there. And if you're doing something that you don't want to use your cloth for, then I would just spray disinfectant and use a bit of toilet paper, and that goes like flush, done. And that way you never have a super messy mess to clean up. It's just like one spray, and then wipe whatever, if one spray on the mirror and just get the spots that spray works. You'll be there again. Don't worry about it. And just tiny little movements. And same with my car. Going in, out of my car, what can I take with me? What kind of messes? Oh yeah, there's this empty thing and that, and you bring in all those, then you don't end up with all of the stuff that stays in your car over time. So that's a habit stack. Find this places and things that trigger you throughout the day you can use. And when we write down all of our good activities, maybe some of those stacks will help you. Like I said, the science of it is that it becomes easier and becomes one unit. Now, if you really want to get exponentially, like kind of propel you to do these stacks easier, you throw a reward at the end. Marketing has really, they use it to, they know this works. They know putting that reward at the end. So you've got your trigger, your habit, your reward. There's a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Yeah, The Power of Habit. Really excellent book if you want to read up on that kind of thing. And they talk about how marketing uses it. Your kids see the golden arches, that's the trigger. They start whining for French fries. We need fries. And then you drive in, you get them the fries. The reward is they get the fries, you get the peace and quiet, or you get fries too. Either way, there's a reward. You see the trigger, and that now, hope McDonald's or some people are hoping that, yeah, whatever. They're hoping that becomes a habit. Of course, that would be great. Every time you drive by, every time you see that, you get triggered. That's awesome. That works great for them. So that's all in that book that I described. I'll put it down in the description. So if you put a habit and have a habit stack and then a reward at the end, wow, that just brings it to a new level, because you get a hit of dopamine. You get that little hit of dopamine that will reward you. So for me, my little habit of doing my 4 things in the morning, my reward enough is this little check mark. That is enough of a reward for me. Yay! I come upstairs and I get to, check that off. When I look at the card later, I don't obviously have the cards with me all over the house. So when I get to the file box, I look at it and I get, yeah, I did that. I did my walk already. By the time I see the card file box, I've already done my little morning routine and my walk. So I get to check off things right away. And those check marks are enough for me to feel that's really satisfying, and I like to record it. So maybe that'll be enough for you. If not, try and find other ways to put a reward in, because then our brain even more so wants to repeat that. And the more we repeat it, like everything else we learn, it becomes a habit and becomes so much easier. It's less and less difficulty. Whoa. So wanted to mention just quickly then, this also works for bad habits, but we have the power to change it. We have the power to interrupt the sequence. Instead of flopping onto the couch, turning on the TV and just getting snacks, which is like boom, boom, boom. That's that maybe there can be another, when it's taking off my shoes and getting home means I can do something else. So find the things I can do something healthy. I'll sit down and look at my card file box. That's a good habit. Automatically just sit there, look at your file box. Where is it at? What's going on? And look at your goals. Look at the things you've set out for yourself. That's it for today. It was wonderful. I hope that more of you subscribe and comment, especially the comments, because I'd really like to hear what people are thinking and what they're thinking when they watch it, and what you're enjoying, what you want more of, that kind of thing. And it's encouraging to me. Have a great day. Bye.